Okay, this working. It's a doll baby working, and what I've got here, I made two little doll babies. I ran out of red material, but I was able to use white, which is perfectly fine. I did bind it up with red yarn, so that's perfectly fine. I have baptized these dolls. They don't look perfect. They don't need to look perfect. It's perfectly fine. Uh, so yeah, I called down. What I do is I do a little prayer where I call down the spirit into the doll. I don't use, like I've said before in previous videos, I don't use the Catholic baptism. So I just do my own little thing. Uh, so him. So I've got a petition. I'm going to bind the actual petition to the two dolls, and I like to keep the female doll on top because I want her to be the dominant one. So I'm going to bind towards me calling in. So I'm just stating it into myself what I want to happen. I don't want to say this out loud, so okay. You can say stuff like whatever it is that resonates with you. You think of me always. I am the ideal woman for you, or man, whatever it might be. Our love is true. We are together. Our love is we're at one with each other, spiritually, emotionally, physically, things like that. And I try to keep it in the positive, or the present tense. Excuse me. Okay. So I've got a little box, and I have the box already dressed with some rose petals, some confetti, cinnamon sticks, store anise, sugar, a little heart. So I'm going to be putting the little box in there, or the little dolls. I'm talking backwards tonight. And I'll close that up. And what I'm going to do is I'll burn some candles on this. So that's just the dolls prepared. But I'm going to bind the box up and burn candles on that for 3 weeks. Or maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. So that's that bit done. Okay, so I've got a skull. You can use any kind of skull, whatever it might be. It truly doesn't matter. So I'm going to be doing some head work on him. I've put his picture to the bottom of this. This is just a toy skull, so it's perfectly fine as long as it represents the head. Even if you have a money box, I often use a money box. It's perfectly fine. So I just tied it to the head, and what I'll be doing is I'll just move this out of the way. I'll be setting it down like this, and I will be putting some candles around it, and I'll be turning it clockwise whilst stating, I'll be making suggestions into the head of the skull, saying you will think about the client. She's always on your mind. You truly love her. You can blow smoke from a cigarette. You can use incense smoke, whatever it might be. That is a good way to disguise yourself, and it won't be picked up in readings. If you go for a reading, or someone goes for a reading with regards to the guy, that won't be picked up that there's work being done on him, if that makes sense. Because it's a smoke screen, that's very effective. I always use incense whilst I'm making my suggestions, or I don't personally smoke, but I will blow the smoke if I do use a cigarette. I blow the smoke, but I don't, inhale, so to speak. I just don't like cigarettes. But anyway, I'll be making suggestions, and I'll be going around and around saying, she's the woman for you, the only woman for you. You only have eyes for her. You can also put a picture of the person across the eyes of the skull. So I could have put her photograph here. Actually, I think I will do that. So his eyes is always on her. Another thing, yeah, I've baptized this as well. I think I've said that earlier. I baptized this skull in the guy's name, same way as I baptized the dolls. So the dolls handle the binding, and those two dolls will end up in a honey jar. I just want to work on them for a little bit, and then I'm going to probably put them in a honey jar and let them settle. Or I'm not actually sure, but I think I'd probably keep them for the 3 weeks, and then I could put them in a honey jar, and then they'll be deployed at the usual tree that I go to, or I can bury them in a. Sometimes I bury them in a flower pot, which symbolizes love growing. but I think it's going to be a honey jar. But anyway, so yeah, every night, well, it'll be every morning because I want it to link into the time that this person is sleeping. I'll be doing that, and that hits on the subconscious mind. So I'll be making those suggestions about her, so that basically the message gets filtered through. So I have a few cards that I did pull on this situation. Also, before I did that love working, I did a black candle reversed. So what I did was I cut the butt of the candle, I turned it upside down, I wrote on the candle, all enemies known and unknown, and I did a reversing spell. There's one similar on the channel. I don't like to upload a lot of repetitive spells, so that's what I did to see if I could clear. Because the lady in question, she thinks there's a curse on the situation, so I did some reversing work. So you can do that if you want to look a few videos back. I think I have something similar. So you want to bite, not, well, you don't have to bite it, but they used to bite the bottom of the candle, turn it upside down, just cut it with a knife so that the wick is the bottom of the candle, and do it that way. And write the person's name backwards. So it's like a mirror reflection, or you can write all, what did I say? Enemies, known and unknown. It's always good to cover the unknown because you don't know who's out there. People are strange. So anyway, I had a look at a few cards, general, on the situation, and your key card is the Anchor. Anchor card, all about settling down in life, setting down roots, anchoring oneself. So I think he wants to do that. He wants to be steady, if that makes sense. The two cards leading up to that are the child. So I don't know if you've got children. I don't think you have. And money. So I'm inclined to believe that the reason for him not settling down is that he's a bit childlike with money. He's a bit foolish with money, because this is a cash card. So he's naive with money. So I'm not sure if that resonates with you. It'd be interesting to get your feedback on that. But I think that's what that means. That card, when I see that card, it's either refers to a child, or I'm thinking, hey, he's being a bit naive. But it's got to do with cash. So I'd be interested in your feedback. And I did look at some oracle cards. So mistake. So I'll just read them out, and you can let me know if they resonate with you. Mistake. Confusion. Gain. New beginnings. Clarity. Surprise. And growth. So that looks quite good. So I'm hoping that he realizes that everything that has happened is a mistake, and there'll be some confusion with regards to that. Moving on to gaining things, better maybe perspective on things, to a new start, moment of clarity, something will surprise you, and growth. Sometimes, like I said, we go through these ups and downs with regards to love. Sometimes it's just not things. Certain things are not meant to be in our timeline, and it's all to do with soul growth lessons. So that would be what I'm thinking. You have to go through so much of this as a soul growth lesson, but not to worry, because I think things are going to mend. I think things will turn around. So things look quite promising, and I would really like to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while, so it would be good to get a little update. So yeah, I've got you and him and your little love box. I'll be working on that, and I'm going to do some head work on him for as long as I can. We'll give it 21 days, and then we can see how things are. You can tell me if he's improving. Things do take a while, and nothing, as I said before, is instantaneous. But it'd be interesting to get your feedback. So for everyone else, it's thehouseofmagick@gmail.com, and you can catch me even in the comment section. I'll try my best to reply to everyone as soon as possible. So thanks to everyone. Thank you.